of this is very dangerous because it continues the ongoing war against trans people, against trans kids. Sometimes good things happen to bad people. It appears as though the French president, Emmanuel Macron, is suing for defamation Candace Owens, who has been on a jag about Macron's wife being trans. She's not, but calling her a man for months and months and months. She put like a series of videos, like did a deep dive on her conspiracy podcast. It's nice to see when people who are Hitler apologists, people who hang around with people who love Hitler, like Kanye West, and they wear their White Lives Matter sweatshirts like it's a goof, like they're really trailblazers in the thought space. Candace Owens is one of the most transparent, grifty charlatans in the entire MAGA movement. She is a vile, as far as I'm concerned. Look, obviously not black, haven't lived a black experience, but I can empathize and put myself into the shoes of people. And if I had a traitor in the midst, I think I would feel the way that a lot of people feel in the black community about Candace Owens. She is just fucking vile. And now maybe there will be a little accountability. And the funny thing, when I read a little bit from this Washington Post article, is that she is making the claim that the foreign government is trying to take away her First Amendment rights, which is just a fundamental lack of understanding, just rank ignorance on the part of Candace Owens, because the First Amendment is that Congress shall make no law regarding abridging the freedom of speech. It's about Congress making a law, not about foreign governments. The foreign government has no obligation whatsoever to protect your First Amendment right under the United States' Constitution, Candy. Anyway, here's the headline from the Washington Post. French President Macron sues right-wing podcaster Candace Owens. Owens disregarded 3 retraction requests after making defamatory allegations, according to the lawsuit. French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife filed a defamation lawsuit Wednesday against Candace Owens over the far-right commentator's repeated allegations that First Lady Brigitte Macron was born a man. The lawsuit, filed in Delaware, alleges that Owens ignored the Macrons' attempts to set the record straight in favor of mocking them and retaliated when they requested a retraction. Part of this is funny. Part of this is just run-of-the-mill nonsense from Republicans who make wild allegations. They build wild conspiracy theories for clicks, for clout, for money, ultimately. Part of this is very dangerous because it continues the ongoing war against trans people, against trans kids, against the most vulnerable population in our country, and, dare I say, maybe the world, relative to oppression from government, relative to beatings and death, and the feelings of worthlessness or whatever that would cause someone to want to harm themselves. Suicide rates in the trans community are off the charts. Wouldn't we want to protect a vulnerable class of people in our country? Wouldn't we want to protect the kids who grow up feeling different and weird and worthless and all the emotions that are heightened, that are already there with cis straight kids? It's already a delicate, dangerous time with all of the hormones and everything else and the social pressures. And then you add social media and bullying and all of this other. I just can't imagine claiming to be the family values party, the Christian party, the party of forgiveness and the philosophies of Jesus Christ, and then only doing more damage to a community that needs the help. In an 8-part podcast she created and in social media posts, Owens promoted outlandish, defamatory, and far-fetched fictions to boost her platform and make money, the lawsuit alleges. Among the claims are that Brigitte, I'm not sure how to say her name, Macron, stole another person's identity, that she and the president were blood relatives engaged in incest, and that they were committing forgery, fraud, and abuses of power, the lawsuit said. Look, there's a lot to criticize Emmanuel Macron and his wife for. Like, she was his elementary teacher or grade school or middle school teacher, or she early in his life when he was a child, she was his teacher. There's some weird shit going on there, but that's just constructs of what we believe is appropriate. To claim on a factual level definitively that Brigitte Macron is a man, was born a man, is defamatory. Defamatory and also dangerous for someone because of all the unhinged nuts out there who want to do harm to members of the LGBTQ community. But now that there's a little accountability coming her way, now she's crying foul. Owens spokesperson Mitchell Jackson said she, quote, is not shutting up, and called the lawsuit a foreign government attacking the First Amendment rights of an American independent journalist. She really thinks very fondly of herself. First, but secondly, going back to the thing I said earlier, the French government, the French president has no obligation to even respect our Constitution, to hold any fealty to upholding the principles of the First Amendment of the Constitution of our country. These conservatives, it is so weird and gross, and they believe that we are the center of the universe and every other country must abide by the way we see fit, must think that our Constitution rules the rest of the country, that our system of jurisprudence must rule the day. I hope she gets what is coming to her. Owens doubled down on the claims in a video Wednesday, saying that she had been, quote, sued by the First Lady man of France, and that the lawsuit was an obvious and desperate public relations strategy that she first learned of in the press. She also said the filing contained inaccuracies and that she and her representatives asked to interview Brigitte Macron before podcast episodes aired. The French embassy could not be reached for comment. Tom Clare, an attorney representing the Macrons, called the suit a clear-cut case of defamation. The Macrons said in a statement that they concluded that referring the matter to a court of law was the only remaining avenue for remedy after 3 retraction requests were disregarded. And then, of course, if you don't know or you don't remember, Candace Owens worked for the Daily Wire and Turning Point USA before starting her own podcast, and she has more than 4.4 million subscribers right here on YouTube. 4 times more subs than I have. Really makes you feel good. But, you know, I think it's a lot easier to build a following when you say insane, batshit crazy, unable to be substantiated things. When you're moored by principles and facts and you're restricted by the truth, it's a little harder to catch a little steam. And that's saying, you know, I've got over 1 million subs now, so not that I'm complaining, not complaining. I'm just crying and whining like a little whiner. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed, like I just said, if you're not already. You can also call my voicemail line and leave me a fewer than 3-minute voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Follow me on social media. If you're around the social media, I am at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.